Okay, let me show you a quick and dirty trick that I use when I'm coming to the corner. I think this is actually how quilters do it. So I can see I'm coming to a corner, but before I get there, I'm actually going to fold my binding up. Call it binding because that's a quilting term. It's actually a bias. And you see how it's lined up with the edge here, and it's lined up with the edge here. So then I folded it nicely, and I know that I have to cut it into this angle at the top so that I can turn my bias tape, right? So then what I do is I pull it out, I sew down to where that is, back stitch just to make sure it's caught, a couple stitches ahead, and then, oops, a couple stitches across out of almost a 45. I'll come ahead again and come straight down, tight against the piping, always tight against the piping. There we go. And then there's my fingers holding that piping in. Here comes another corner. So we're going to do that again. Line the seam up with the bias tape there. Line the seam up here. Push them together to get my mitered corner. And there is where I cut. Never through the thread. So when I get to the corner, I'm going to just press this down, line up my seams here. A couple stitches across the corner. I like to do a couple here just because this is a bit of a weak spot now with the fabric cut down, and then I come around the corner, and there you go. So let's take a look at this so you can see how that corner looks. I, of course, am going to cut out the bulk of the fabric here so it turns. Wrong corner. Take one that's completely sewn. And then you just press it down. Let's press it down. And look at that. Isn't that a nice sharp corner there? And that's the one where I've done both sides. And that is how you do an outside corner. Again, you can top stitch. You can, if you top stitch or even stitch in the ditch to hold it, you can trim all the bulk off in the back. You'll know, you'll decide. Okay, and that's how you turn a corner.